Good morning, millennials.
Welcome back to The Toast and happy Monday that feels like a real Monday. Hey, Jax, how you doing?
Doing well, Turd. Thank you for asking. Yes, indeed, it does feel like a real Monday for me especially. I'm sure for you as well, but for me especially because
it's not a competition, but it's fine.
Because I've been off. Hey guys, how you doing? How was everyone's week? My week was fantabulous. My week of leisure was not as leisurely as I was hoping for, but I got so much out of it. I got to be a toaster for the week, which was really such a joy. And I'm so glad I had that experience to say to you all, you're welcome. How being a toaster and the toast is such a gift to your everyday in all mundane daily activities, driving, cleaning, cooking, working out, not while I'm mothering, because you just never know when a curse word's going to slip.
So let's start from the very beginning. The last time we saw you all was a Friday. Jax and I headed to Austin. We had a fabulous time in Austin. We sort of had this sort of renaissance with the city. And I would say, is it crazy to say we fell in love with the city?
We did. I feel like more often than not these days, you go to a city and you're like, yikes, bikes, what's happening here?
No, Austin was so fabulous. Mostly like the people there were so amazing. It's such a toasty town. Like, we had one of our biggest events ever. We did an amazing meet and greet at Spritz. The girlies showed up and showed out. Then we spoke at a panel and the girlies were there as well. Then we went to a concert. We had back to back to back. We were kind of giving meetings energy.
But to complete my thought, we had such an amazing experience in Austin, the town. What a gorgeous city. Pretty well taken care of as far as cities go. I had been there a few years ago and I always thought it was like such a cool place, keep Austin weird, the main drag, South Congress. You guys have a lot going on, shops, restaurants, the like. And everything has just built up since then. There's so much new construction. It's really a blossoming city. And if you're a young person thinking about where to live, like after you graduate, might I suggest Austin?
I don't think you need to suggest it. It's like one of the most popular places for young people to move.
No, but might I, if you're looking for a sign, should I move to Austin or Chicago or,
Minneapolis?
I'm going to vote Austin. I'm voting Austin.
Yeah, no, the weather was great. They've got lakes, breaks, trakes. They've got it all. But really, it was so fabulous.
I agree with you that the crop of people were of a special ilk.
Well, it's a really interesting city in the sense that most people who live there aren't from there. And it's people from other, big urban cities and other places in Texas. So it was a real melting pot. Everyone was giving normal energy, which you absolutely love to see. I just felt like the normalcy radiating from the people there. That's why I liked it.
Yeah, normalcy, toastiness.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of like, I want to say, the toastiest city I've ever been.
We really had such a great time. We had a jam-packed 24 hours. We did our Spritz meet and greet, which was so much fun. So many sweet toasters, sweet babies, sweet toasty mamas, and like toasters mamas, like grown. You know what I mean? Books to sign, Cameron Counselor, Girl with No Job. We just had a really great, fun, swirly time. And then we did Dear Media IRL, another fun, great, swirly time.
And then just, almost like the stars were aligned for us. It happened to be a country music festival in Austin that night. So obviously we went. We had the best time. What a lineup. I mean, Lady A.
Lady A all day. Thank you to iHeart Country and whoever pulled strings to treat us like artists' cousins.
Keith Urban. Lady A. Riley Green. So much has happened to me since that. I can't even remember who else.
Well, Jason Aldean also performed and Jelly Roll. Your girls did split just because we had a long day, as aforementioned.
Yeah.
But we had such a ball, and Lady A, that was all I needed. I filled up my concert cup.
No, Lady A was... I haven't seen them perform in seriously 15 years. And I turned to Jackie as a joke when they were walking on stage. I'm like, you think they'll play American Honey? Which is seriously not even a song they ever released. It's so random. There's literally I don't even know if it's on iTunes. It's a deep cut on YouTube. And I swear to God, the third song they played, we were screaming, losing our minds.
Yeah, no, I think it was a single. We just associate it with another song from Lady A that was a deep cut on iTunes that is they don't claim or play or anything. But American Honey was a major song for them, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah.
It feels like nobody knew it.
It feels like our
song,
though. It feels like ours.
It is.
We grew up on the side of the road. No, we didn't.
We literally did. Where the church bells ring and strong love grows. That's literally us.
Literally. Literally.
We grew up good. We grew up slow.
Like American Honey. Gargy Pargy.
It was really amazing. It was like Jackie said, a jam-packed 24 hours. And then Jackie headed home and I went to LA straight off the plane.
Hopped off the plane at LAX into Sebastian Maniscalco's arms.
Lap. Yeah. Obsessed. I will say, I knew everyone that I was going to be interviewing, and I was not nervous for any of them except Sebastian Maniscalco. He was the only one I didn't know, like, hadn't spoken to. It was like very publicisty. It wasn't like DMing, hey, want to come on?
And
like he's Schofield I had never met, but she and I were texting. Like,
right, and he's the least swirly of the hosts. Everyone else was pretty swirly.
Yeah, everyone else was like familiar with the swirly vibes, and I just know like someone on Sebastian's team was like, you know, this will be good for you with the millennial girls, like just do it. And he was like, okay. And I could tell like when he walked in, he's like, okay, like what is this? What's going on? Who's this little girl? Little girl. And I was like dead set on winning him over and like showing him the swirly vibes and the swirly way of life.
The swirly way of life.
And I feel like mission accomplished. I don't know if I've ever prepped so much. Like I watched Unfrosted on the plane, which he was in for all of 10 seconds, but still, like, I wanted to talk about it. I, like, did so much research on him. I stalked him and his wife on Instagram to death, like, seriously. And I walked in feeling good, feeling prepared. And the second he sat down and he laughed at something I said, I just felt like, oh, he's obsessed.
Obsessed with La Swirl. How could he not be?
I feel like he saw the swirly vibes, liked what he saw, and perhaps is thinking about adapting the swirly lifestyle into his everyday.
I think for about an hour there, he was a swirly.
1000%. And I'm just telling you, like, the vibes, like, we need to get him back on. And like, I think, seriously, I think he had a great time.
Yeah. We had a great time, us listeners.
By the way, I never watch, like, our own episodes, whether it's a guest or just us, but, like, I did watch it 2 times.
Also, what was crazy for me was this was the first time I exclusively listened as podcasts. I usually, like, I can't listen to a podcast unless it has a video component and I watch the video. But I guess because I just had, like, wasn't going to sit down and watch video. So I was just going about my life listening to the podcast. Fabulous experience. I understand why people love it.
Yeah, when you did guest co-host, I also just listened as a podcast. Like, that's because I was a gal on the go.
Because otherwise I'm never going to listen because I'm not sitting down to this.
To watch.
So I understand now why our podcast numbers are so much higher than our video numbers.
So then the next day I podcasted with Justin Sylvester, which was the perfect episode. There was a lot going on in the world, Met Gala, things of that nature. It had been a while because it was the weekend, and then Monday's episode was Sebastian. It had been a while since I had like a proper pop culture sit down, and I feel like we needed that, sort of like a palate cleanser for everyone to just sort of return to their truest selves.
Return to normalcy.
And Justin Sylvester is seriously like the king of my heart, body, and soul. Like there actually probably are 4 people on this planet I actually couldn't muster up a bad thing to say about, even if I tried my absolute hardest. And Justin Sylvester is one of those people.
No, like if Justin Sylvester has no fans, I'm dead.
We've been killed.
No, but like you're his friend. I'm his fan. I love everything that he does. If Daily Pop has no fans, I am dead. I was the last person watching Daily Pop. They had to claw it from my hands. So that was a real treat for me as just like a fan.
And he's just such a professional and such a star and so funny. It's very rare that somebody can make it their job to talk about other people, but they themselves are of extreme interest still. Like, it's not like I don't want to hear about you. I'm like, tell me what's going on. Tell me everything.
They themselves.
Then the next day was the day in which, you know?
The day in which the TikTok came home to roost. Brooke?
No, the 5K.
Oh, I thought we were going about shows. Sorry.
No, I'm going in order of like what I actually did.
We witched.
Now, there's so much to talk about when it comes to the 5K, and you and I actually haven't even really like talked about it.
No, and you haven't talked about it on the podcast, have you?
No, I briefly talked about it with Tinks, but like not on a real
right. Like you
level.
haven't told us everything. I know some things, but like La Turd, how was the 5K?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It was hard. So it was at the Rose Bowl, which is like just like 6 miles of concrete. There's not a tree in sight. A breeze? No.
I don't know her.
And it was at like 11 o'clock, which is pretty like peak heat of the day. It's not 8 a.m. It's not 9 a.m. It's 11. And honestly, it felt like the first day I'd ever run. Like it felt like I had made no progress. I was dying, like seriously dying, heaving, almost at one point threw up.
Well, I just want to say, imagine how you would have been if you hadn't trained.
So this is where things get interesting. And I thought about maybe not even sharing this.
But you're going to be brave and open?
But, you know, I've been so transparent this whole, and like sometimes I wish I wasn't this authentic, you know?
Okay. What is she going to say?
So, and I have to say, like, I did the 5K with Ben and Josh. Josh Peck is like, you know, I don't think he trained, but he's a person who's in good shape. So he ran with me the whole time, and I actually felt bad. I felt like I was really slowing him down. And I was like, just please go. Like, you're making me feel worse. And he was like, no, I'm not leaving you. Like, he was so loyal to the point where, like, I actually wanted to slap him. Ben did the weirdest thing where the second we started, everyone's like starting slow. He sprints, like seriously, like an Olympic runner for like 30 seconds just to get really ahead of us so that he could walk and we would catch up to him. Now, suffice to say that did not work. He seriously almost went into cardiac arrest after those 30 seconds and he was behind us the entire time. So much so to the point where we lapped him because you basically go a mile and a half and then run back a mile and a half. And we caught him on the way back and he hopped over and cheated.
Yeah.
So, and he said that on his own story. That's not me blowing up his spot.
Yeah.
So all that to say, I ran with like how I always run, with my phone in the tracker. I'm literally going to pull up the screenshot because I'm dying. And at 2.5 miles, I hadn't taken a break yet. And I seriously thought I was going to throw up. So I started walking and I was like, I actually don't think I can finish it. Mm-hmm. And then after like heavy breathing and just, you know, I was able to finish it. And when I finished it, my phone was in my hand and I screenshotted the time and I was shocked. I was like, okay, maybe this wasn't as hard as I thought because I did it in 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And up until this point, like my best time was 38. And that was like when I was feeling really good and doing really good.
And that was like in air conditioning or a breezy day.
Exactly. So I'm like, wow, it must have all been in my head. But then I also saw that my distance was 2.97. And I was like trying not to blow up the Two Bears spot, being like, this wasn't an accurate 5K. Like it wasn't 3.1, it was 2.97.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is a farce. No wonder why my time was so low. It's 2.97.
It's a scheme.
Why.
And
so I just sort of held this information to myself for the last few days.
Is this an expose?
Like, no, just wait.
Okay, because I'm like, this is major stuff.
No. So I'm like, okay, the 5 Bears are a fraud and I'm skinny 35 minutes. And I was just sort of like, just living with that, you know? And like, yes, I had this big secret about 2.97. I was probably the only person really tracking it. But I also had this other like thing where I could tell people I did it in 35 minutes. So I was like, you know what? We're all winners here.
Yeah.
I get home and yesterday or Saturday, I go for a run. And I'm using my same app. And I had such a good run. I did the 3 miles and I did it in 36 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm really getting good.
Your app is crap?
No. So then I'm like playing with the app, you know, that it stores all your runs. So I'm like, oh, let me just go look at my big fancy progress. I see. The 5K run, I'm looking at it right now. 39:26.
That feels right.
And I say, excuse me, 39:26? I had the screenshot and I go look at the screenshot, but my phone was locked. So I'm like, my phone hadn't updated, like the phone hadn't woken up yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the distance and the time hadn't updated.
Okay, so it was a true 5K. This is not an expose.
It was a true 5K and I did it in 39:26. Like, I can't believe I was telling everyone, like I did it in 35 minutes.
I just feel like you didn't have to correct yourself here today.
I know.
Because I was really impressed because I ran a 5K in solidarity with you on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was. And I pushed myself so hard to get the lowest possible time. I think I got 38 minutes. And that's in a gym, on a treadmill, air conditioning. You know, I think the treadmill even has a fan vent. It's fanning me. Like, this is with all modern conveniences, 38 minutes. And then I saw you were 35 minutes. I said, wow, damn turdy.
Yeah. So now I'm taking a look at my run. Mile 1, crushed it, 11:24. Mile 2, 12:17. Mile 3, this is where I seriously thought I was going to throw up, 15:45.
That's really not bad.
No, and then like 2 days later, I come home, I go for a run on Saturday, and I did it in 36 minutes. Like, why couldn't I have brought that? It was just a gorgeous day, breezy and perfect.
No
like,
breeze, concrete.
Everything was working against me, and I was very flustered because we almost missed the 5K.
Why? Because of Ben?
Because of Ben.
Shocker.
Like, and I apologize if you're hearing this story already because I made a TikTok about it that went so viral. we're going to bed the night before. I want to get good sleep. I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm prepping so hard. Electrolytes, bananas, like really. I'm literally asleep. Like my eyes are, I'm seriously about to drift in bed. It's like, oh my God. I'm like, what? He's like, I don't have my Hokas.
Sneakers. He didn't bring sneakers.
Well, he had like Air Force Ones, but those aren't like, you can't run in those. Those are like girly sneakers. Like
Swirly sneakers?
I seriously, like normally I would hop into action. Like, let me fix this for you because that's what I do. At this point, I was like, seriously, eat my fucking ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grow the fuck up. And no stores in LA open before 10 a.m. and we had to be there at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was an hour away.
If that's not emblematic of the situation.
We found a Dick's Sporting Goods nearby that was open earlier. We went, but it was just like and then like we had gotten off the highway to go to Dick's. And then we get back on the highway and we missed the exit for the actual 5K because we were just like flustered.
Yeah.
Like, and I seriously, like I was cursing his fucking name in the back of this car. And I was like, not me literally preparing for something for 6 months. Like I decided in January I wanted to do something. And now here I am 5 months later doing it. And I might miss it because of you.
And like you had one job.
I was including you on this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so fucking mad. Now we ended up not having to get there. Like we didn't end up starting running till 10:45. But like the email I got from the Two Bears 5K team said be there at 10 a.m. I follow the rules. Like I'm not a disgusting person.
And I'm sure then Ben was like, look, we didn't even have to be here. Just like when you get to the airport as the doors are closing and he's like, look, we made it. I was right.
No, 1000%. I was so mad. And then he was just like, he was also like goofing around on the 5K. And like I was definitely taking it like a little too seriously. But like our energies were just off. And maybe that's why I did it in 39 minutes. Like for real.
Oh, for sure. Because you had this weight holding you down, like this anger.
1000%.
Well,
I just wasn't in the best possible headspace I could have possibly been in, you know?
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's motivating, like that when you have something like you're running against.
No, I just wanted to like run away and get further. But the thing is, like, Josh was being such a good friend. Josh would not leave my side. Like the entire time, he was right behind me. And Ben was like with Josh. So I couldn't shake Ben.
Did you meet anyone else? Any networking?
There was like a little networking, but like seriously, I was taking it so seriously, like to the point that it was actually embarrassing. But I didn't meet anyone new per se, no. But I, rubbed elbows with old friends. Oh, okay, so probably the most famous person there was Travis Barker. I was shocked when I saw him. First of all, it was 10,000 degrees and he was, he always covers up like his arms, legs because of the burns from his plane crash. I seriously, I thought I'm like, how are you not gonna faint? It's so hot. He must like be a runner. When I tell you he was doing laps around everyone, he must have done the 5K, seriously, in 18 minutes. When I was like a mile in, he had already lapped me and was headed back. So he had like a mile left. I had 2 miles left. It was really crazy. I didn't even see him at the finish line. He must have been home by then. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Was there first, second, third place?
Well, so that's what's so funny is there was like this whole party afterwards. I stayed for like 15 minutes, but then I had to go record with Brooke. So I left. I think there was a medal
ceremony,
but I didn't win, so I wasn't interested. And like seriously, the morning of, I was feeling so confident. I was like, I feel like I have a chance of placing, like for real. I was like, I could place. And then I got there and I realized, like, first of all, there were 2 heats is what they call them. The 5K was open to the public for like their listeners and stuff, and Bert and Tom ran with them at 9, and then there was like a VIP heat at 10:45. So it was just like skinny, wealthy LA people. Like who? Like I seriously, I didn't have a shot in hell. The fact that I didn't come in last is a miracle. Like for real.
And did they do it like top 3 men, top 3 women?
I didn't stay for the medal ceremony, so honestly, I don't know.
But you're wearing a medal on the show today in case you're listening as a podcast, which
well,
people
you probably wouldn't know this because you never ran a 5K. But they basically have like people waiting for you at the end, like to give everyone a medal. It's giving like we're all winners here energy.
Yeah. Well, no, that's like the marathon too. That's the marathon too, Turtaloo.
Mm-hmm. Screenshot.
Yeah, we got it.
You got it? So yeah, they had like a million medals at the end, which like honestly, that was the best part.
Yeah, no, you deserve a medal. And you got one.
No, I literally deserve a medal.
Yeah.
I want a bigger one. I know. I didn't see it like posted anywhere. So I don't know.
So it wasn't worth winning.
So it wasn't me. So
if not, everyone's gonna know.
1000%. I think the big narrative was Jelly Roll did the 5K,
Yeah.
And this has really, I think, sparked some sort of health journey for him, which we love. And I think that was the whole message. Obviously, I made the 5K about myself, and I didn't even listen to the episode where the Bears themselves like discussed why they wanted to run a 5K. Like I just sort of centralize myself to the conversation. But apparently it was a part of this greater movement, you know, to get people out, get them healthy, get them moving, which we love. I mean, it worked.
Yeah, I mean, literally you did the 5K because of Jelly Roll, because of that story from People Magazine. Yep. Jelly Roll's running a 5K.
Yeah.
Ergo, Turdy's running a 5K.
And, you know, a lot of people are wondering, like, Turdy, do you have the bug? Are you going to keep running? And I've ran twice, like, in my personal life since the 5K. I happen to really enjoy it as a means of exercise. I don't know if I'm going to continue, like, racing, but I definitely like to run. I've said it, okay? Yeah, I like to run.
That's good. Something, I don't know if you went on my Instagram or something, but something happened where my Instagram algorithm now thinks I'm a runner. I want to like put my phone away before I say this because I don't want more of this content. It's all like memes and funny videos about like people like spending all their money registering for marathons and like how people
to pay
to register for a marathon. I think so. Yeah, they think, oh, my husband thinks running it's a free hobby. Haha. Shoes, tickets, flights, this, that.
Oh my
like,
God.
I literally need to get off of this. Like, I just want my sourdough and my chickens back. Maybe oh my gosh, maybe because I finally did my sourdough, I've leveled up on Instagram and now it's running. I'm telling you, I don't relate to this content. I run in my personal life. I'm never going to do a marathon. It's all marathon content. I don't know what happened. Maybe because we've been talking about the 5K like on FaceTime. I don't like running. I don't want to run a marathon. Oh my God, it's so annoying.
And then after the 5K, that's when I had to run home and get my hair blown out to record with Brooke Schofield, which was just sort of like, you know, for the youth. You love to see two young women out here being young. You love to see that.
You do.
And she was amazing. And she really was very open and honest, which we love to see. And then the next day, you know, sort of as a rebuttal to, like, you thought you were playing chess and you were playing checkers with Mary Orton and I was playing chess with Tinks. You know, like, you thought you had a friend. Oh, I'll level up. I have a sister.
Well, I listened to Tinks' episode and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was much enjoyment. Oh my God, but it was just like, and this is what I'm sure it's like to be a toaster. The great plight of toastiness is like, I just wanted to jump in. I had so much to say.
Screaming.
So much to say, but I had to just listen and learn.
The Tinks episode is probably like the episode I recorded that week where I enjoyed myself most. Like I was enjoying the conversation. Like I think with Sebastian, I was very nervous and I had a great time, but like I felt like I had something to prove. So I was like a little on edge, if you will. Justin, that was the most comfortable I'd been. Brooke, I was kind of intimidated, you know, like she's so young, hot thing, and I'm just like, you know, big slob magob, old lady. Tinks, I felt like I was enjoying myself so much. And then Nikki Glazer, which was the final episode, was like the most anticipation because I had booked her. I love her and I know her and like I would have had her on regardless. I thought she would be a great podcast host. But then, you know, timing is everything. Like how great her coming off the heels of this major successful moment. And I was like, oh, she's obviously going to cancel, which I would understand. She was on Howard Stern. She was on Jimmy Kimmel. Like she was everywhere. But she came and like, I literally, up until I saw her in the studio, did I think she was going to cancel? And I was like, honestly, I wouldn't have been mad if you canceled. Like, I totally get it. And she totally like respects the toast. She was like, hell no. Like, this is huge. I wanted to cancel other things, not this. And I was like, okay, queen.
I'm going to say like
okay,
Howard
queen.
Stern, Jimmy Kimmel toast, spot the difference. I can't.
I can. It's called talent.
Talent, comedy, verve, energy, zest for life, gorgeousness.
Yeah, I could, but I won't. And then right off after that, I headed to the plane and came home. And seriously, like, never have I missed my bed so much. Like, LA is just, it's so far away.
It's a tough town, man. It'll chew you up and
universe.
spit you out. Do you feel like it spat you out?
No. Like, seriously, since I've run a 5K, like, you actually can't tell me fucking shit. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, tell me shit.
I mean, like, I never would.
You never would.
Nor could I, but nor would I.
If you wanted to, you couldn't. That's the difference.
That is the difference. I agree.
And so, yeah, I'm just like, I'm a runner. I'm a track star.
Well, congratulations, Turdy. Bon voyage. We hope and we're glad that you had a bon voyage.
I just can't believe, like, I said I was going to do something. And I went on Tinks' podcast after the 5K and, like, we were talking about this. Like, I've never been a person who, like, says she's going to do something and does it. Like, I always flake. Like, and that's definitely something I've been working on. And I feel like the 5K is emblematic, if you will, of, like, me, like, this new me. Like, I said I was going to do something challenging, something out of my comfort zone. And I did it. And that's what I'm most proud of. Like, whatever. My time wasn't great, whatever. And, like, seriously, I felt like the elements were working against me. Like, I could do it right now. I could do it right now in 35, you know? However, regardless, I'm most proud of the fact that like I said I was going to do something and I did it. And there were many times I didn't want to, especially when I found out it was in LA.
Thing she did that. Those things.
There's actually nothing I can't do now. Like it's the way the 5K has given me this like insane sense of self and like a little bit of in a delusional way, but I think that's good.
No, that's the best feeling when you learn a new skill or do something new. Like that's how I felt learning how to drive. I know that's like so dumb for most people, but like when you take on something new that's always kind of evaded you and you conquer it, you're like, oh, well, I could do this with anything that's always evaded me. I could conquer it. Cooking.
That's how I felt initially about reading.
Right. That's how I will soon feel about gardening one day, not today.
I finished Demon Copperhead yesterday.
I saw, finally.
I felt like it was 50 pages too long.
Okay, but like after having read 700, what's another 50?
Well, so I felt like the book gets to a real lull, and I get it. He has to hit rock bottom before, like whatever. But the rock bottom was a little too long. Like when he was seriously going on that hike.
Imagine how Demon felt.
When he's going on that hike, like talking to the bugs, thinking like, should I go to Knoxville for treatment? I was seriously like, I need this book to end. Like, so I say seriously like 4.75 because that point, like that one part of the book, I was seriously like, this is dreadful.
Okay, fair.
And now I'm reading like a moronic.
You need an amuse-bouche, a palate cleanser.
And then I'm going to do Tattooist of Auschwitz. But I couldn't go Demon Copperhead, Tattooist of Auschwitz. Like, I seriously needed a break.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of Holocaust books, I'm reading The Garden of the Finzi Continis.
Is that supposed to mean something? I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah. It's a book about Italy, World War II, a Jewish family. And it's actually like, it's from the 50s, and it's not even available on Kindle. So I had to buy it because I wanted to read it.
The book was written in the 50s?
In the 50s, yeah. Because it's like a true story, and this is like the man's story. I believe like the Finzi Continis were a Jewish family in Italy during World War II.
The Finzi Contini.
It's like very Tennessee. It's giving Carrie Soto. Not at all. Anyways,
I thought you said it's very Tennessee.
No, tennis.
Because you're the only 10 I see.
Oh, thank you, La Swirl. And I'm having a really hard time getting through it, but it's a really short book, so I have no excuse.
No, you have no excuse.
And beyond that, my sourdough starter is ready for bacon today. You guys, I've been Patreoning the whole thing. Let me just tell you, I'm a chemist. It is so crazy, this sourdough life.
Are you obsessed?
No, because I haven't had my bread yet. But every day I get like a little more excited because it looks a little more real and it looks like something that I've seen on Reels. But the beginning, like honestly, it's kind of a dark journey. You'll see in the Patreon, like it's very much an emotional roller coaster.
Can't you buy like pre-made starter, or is that like fraudulent?
So the starter that I got was from Ballerina Farm, but it's dehydrated. So like it's just powder. So then it takes like 4 days to like rehydrate it and grow it. And then right now I have active starter, but I only have enough for one loaf of bread, and I want to like make more loaves of bread down the line. So I've split my starter, and I'm going to keep building and feeding my other starter
you guys, it's over.
No,
She's gone.
You guys, it's the craziest thing.
She is gone. Goodbye.
Right. That's why they're like, okay, maybe you should try running a marathon now. But I'm telling you, Mark Zuckerberg, I don't want to.
No, honestly, I think running a marathon would be easier than making sourdough. Like the fact that you've been.
I was feeding my starter this morning. I'm shocked I'm on time.
You haven't eaten any bread?
I'm shocked I'm on time. I was feeding my starter this morning. Flour everywhere. Just my scale, like it's just crazy.
And it's like this like living organism in your fridge.
It's not in my fridge, it's in my cupboard. Oh, and I think my cupboard's too cold because it's not rising like it should.
You remember learning about the word organism like in science class and everybody being like, orgasm?
Like, no, but I'm sure that's exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't paying attention in science class.
What were you doing?
Like, I don't know. How did you get through class? I don't even know how I got through class because I certainly wasn't learning shit. I wasn't paying attention. Even if I started in earnest trying to pay attention, like...
oh my God.
They lost me so fast. Like, I was just not for that world. And I seriously don't know how... I don't know how I'm sitting here today and how I'm still not stuck in the classroom. Like, how it ever ended.
No, by the way, this is a dream and you're going to wake up in like 6th grade history class. I completely agree with you. I also often reflect on the fact that like we used to... Because we went to a dual curriculum school like our whole lives, Jewish and secular, so like we were in school from 8 to 4:45 most days, and like that's insane. And then there was like homework, extracurriculars, sports, family. Like how did we get it all done?
No, it's seriously so crazy. When I was in middle school and I started getting like seasonal allergies, I would have to take like a Benadryl in the afternoon. And so sometimes I would like pass out in the middle of class because it makes you sleepy, and like they wouldn't say anything. And I just feel like one day I'm going to wake up and I'm coming out of that nap.
Yep. No, and also
and I'm back in middle school and like my allergies, my eyes are red. And I'm like, hey, we should start a podcast.
Jackie, I have never had like allergies as a kid ever. And like I never took Benadryl. And the sheer fact that like I didn't fall asleep in every single class is amazing to me. Like I can actually count on one hand. I literally remember like the few times I fell asleep in class being like, wow, I should do that more often. The class went by so quickly.
And also like as an adult now, I feel like when kids sleep, like they really need it.
Of course.
Obviously like babies and toddlers, but even like kids, like it's a long day. You know, other countries, they take a siesta in the afternoon. Like we're just like working these kids to the bone. If I was a teacher and I saw a child sleeping, I'd be like, good, I'm happy for them. Like that's what's best for them. Like their brain is resting. Like so many good things happen for you while you sleep. I feel like there should be organized nap time throughout every day.
No, and when I reflect on the few times where I did fall asleep in class and a teacher didn't wake me up, and we didn't go to a big school. There's like 30 kids max in every class. Like she saw me sleeping. The fact that she didn't wake me up, if she didn't, is so kind. And anybody who did wake me up is like seriously a dick.
No, a monster. Even this extends all the way, like any human being, adults, whatever, like I will never wake a sleeping person. Even yesterday I was looking for Zach, like screaming his name around, Zach, like seriously like ready to kill him. And then I saw he had fallen asleep. Oh,
he needed it.
Precious gift. I shall back away. He needed it. Like no one is ever sleep. Like if you need sleep, take sleep. If I were a teacher, I would never wake up a sleeping student. And like you don't know what's going on at home. Like maybe they didn't get a good night's sleep for a reason. Like let the children sleep.
I completely agree.
So my thoughts for the day are that.
Yeah. No. I love that we just sort of ended up there because I agree. Yeah. And I'm thinking of like one moment in particular where I fell asleep in Dr. Honig's class and like she didn't wake me up. And I remember she was kind of like a stickler. And I remember waking up and being like, oh my God, she didn't wake me up. Like queen. Like I never saw her the same ever again.
And you know what's also the best? A rarity if you can sleep through all this. But like when the class ends and you're still sleeping and they let you stay there. And then you wake up and like class is over.
Nutty.
Well, you never took a Benadryl in the middle of the day
Is
as
the
a
room
12-year-old.
Empty?
The room's empty. Yeah. Class is over.
But what if there was a class coming in and there's like this sleeping?
Then I think they would wake you up. But like if the class were to be empty, it's just like let the child sleep.
That's whack.
And
like,
that's
honestly.
on taking Benadryl in the middle of the day as a 12-year-old.
That's so fucking funny. Oh
yeah.
my God, 34 minutes.
I know. And I actually haven't even gotten to the crux of what I want to talk about today that's not in the Fast Side Stories.
What?
That encapsulated my weekend. That isn't my sinus infection and isn't the fact that I threw my back out. That's what I'm dealing with today.
It's not sourdough?
And it's not sourdough.
What is it?
It's Eurovision.
It's Eurovision.
It's Euro fucking vision. Honestly, maybe I should rejigger the stories for story 1 to be Eurovision recap and something else we can talk about tomorrow because I have so much to say and it's already 30 minutes.
Let's do that. But I actually wanted to give one major life update. Something happened to me on Saturday that I actually forgot to tell you about.
Okay. And I just want to restate, like I have a sinus infection and my back is out. So like if you have anything mean to say about me today, like today's not the day.
Tomorrow.
Hold your thoughts.
Tomorrow.
Except the back thing is kind of going on a while. Plus I'm on amoxicillin, so I'm just a little crazed.
She's nuts.
She's nuts. Okay, go.
Let me tell you, like as of Saturday, May 11th, 2024.
Okay.
I have officially given up 40 carats.
Quality control.
I gave them so many passes. Like for literally
You gave them like, your best years.
My best years. And literally like I would sit there and act like I wasn't eating at the worst restaurant in the world. And like Ben was always trying to get me to see the light. And I was like, seriously, like you couldn't take off my rose colored glasses. Like everything in the restaurant was bad. The service was bad. The food was bad. The only good thing was really the yogurt, which you don't even need to sit in the restaurant for. Like you can. And
like, let's get real. Everywhere has good froyo.
I hit a wall on Saturday where I seriously like, it took forever. My meal came out completely wrong. And usually if something's wrong, like I usually don't like croutons in my salad. If they come, like sure, I'll pick it out. It was fully dressed. And you guys know how I feel about dressing. And I always say no dressing. And then it came like, and it had been like thrown together because they wanted to like get it out to me. But it was just, I didn't eat it. I said, Ben, it pains me to say this. You are right. And I will not eat here again. And seriously, like, and I hate to, use my platform to like disparage a local business.
But I think we've used the platform so much, like send so many people there. So now it's just sending them like with some caution tape. But I just want to say in defense of 40 carats, just to say, one, yes, they have a quality control issue, and sometimes it's like seriously a worse meal. I once ordered a veggie burger and it was still frozen. It's like literally Dr. Prager's. Like,
why are we eating here? If it was anywhere else and that happened to you,
because every once in a while, like it's the perfect healthy lunch. That's why. And
I know.
And two, the reason why we eat there, and it's not only because of the food, but the vibes. Because it's the perfect swirly day. You go shopping at
swirly day.
You go shopping at Bloomingdale's. You can literally get anything that you need. You can get a new pair of shorts. You could probably get a refrigerator. Like you could get a new mattress if you need it. You could get a teacup.
No. And seriously, like I feel like I've come on this podcast so many times and of course like lifted them up. People, if you're looking for me and you're coming to New York, like go to 40 Carats, you'll find me there. Like people know that's where I am. And seriously, like I have offered my help so many times. I would work for free as creative director. Like I know there's 5 things they need to do, seriously. Everybody, like they need to go under like full retraining of everyone who works there because it's just the most poorly run restaurant. They need to get a fucking fryer because they need to start serving French fries. Like girl lunch, salads and fries, wraps and fries, tuna sandwich and fries. Like the fact that they don't serve French fries and but they do serve that soggy carrot salad on everything.
Do they even serve chips?
No, they don't have sides. Like it's so
They have
stupid.
the pretzel stick that sometimes could clock you over the head, give you a concussion, and other times it's the tastiest thing around.
No. And so like 10 years ago when the restaurant was popular, they were known for their breadsticks. They have completely like lost all sort of energy when it comes to the breadsticks. Like I have told you a million times how to fix the restaurant. It's not even like this is a restaurant that's like has the same problems as other restaurants. Like this is owned by $1 billion company, Bloomingdale's. Get it fucking together.
Doesn't Macy's own Bloomingdale's?
Fucking restaurant. Like seriously, I've had enough. I will not go. I am on strike. Seriously. I'm starting an encampment. And here are my demands. Ready? Oh, and you know what you need to get? I bought one on Amazon. You can get it too. A salad chopper. Everybody orders their salads. They're chopped and they come like huge. You need to specialize in big salads that are really, really chopped with amazing breadsticks and French fries. That's literally, I have solved your problem. You would be the best restaurant in the entire fucking city. I'm going on strike.
Okay. You heard her demands.
No, seriously, Bloomingdale's, reach out. I'm serious. You have lost an extremely valuable customer. When I say no less than 4 times a week I eat there, I will not go back.
Yeah.
And nothing was even particularly crazy on this Saturday. Like, I just broke. It was its usual bad crap.
Everyone has their breaking point.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that PSA. Stay strong, Turdy.
Thank you. Like, I don't know where I'm going to eat now. Especially eat healthy. I guess I'll have to have McDonald's. Thanks, Bloomingdale's.
You need a shaker salad.
I do need a shaker salad.
So without further ado, it is time for the Fast 5 stories that you need to know.
Sorry, I got all worked up there, but it needed to be said. The Fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by State Farm. When you get a new car or a new home, the first thing you might find yourself saying is, literally what? Or how is this real? Really, the words you want to be thinking or singing should be, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm is there with the coverage you need for your car, your home, even boats, motorcycles, RVs, and other things that matter to you. With a State Farm agent, you know someone is there to help you choose the coverage that you need. With so many coverage options, it feels good to know that you can find what fits for you. And when you need ways to get help, State Farm gives you options there too. Maybe you're like me, a real IT technology girly who loves to do everything on their phone. With State Farm, you can get help on statefarm.com or on their award-winning app. Or maybe you're like Jax, you like to handle things in person or on the phone with a local agent. You are so phone with local agent energy.
No, Claudia, today when I was doing my sourdough, I was filming myself so I couldn't use the calculator on my phone and I had to do subtraction using pen and paper. So yeah, I'm calling my State Farm agent.
That's what we love about State Farm. No matter what kind of toaster you are, State Farm lets you do things your own way. So when you need help protecting the things that matter most, remember to sing it like Jax and Claude do. Hit it, Jax.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I feel like you could have done better, but I'll put my whole State Farm-ussy into this one. Ready? Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I just didn't want to take away from your shine.
Sure. Today's episode is also brought to you by Macy's. Whether you're packing for a destination vacation or planning a backyard staycation, Macy's has what you need. Nina Parker, Vince Camuto, Dolce Vita, and more. You can shop all your summer must-haves like summer dresses, matching sets, volume sleeve tops, espadrilles, wedges, straw hats, crafted bags. You can shop all of it for whatever your plans are this summer, whether you're balling or balling on a budget. Macy's.com has you covered. And if you shop now at Macy's.com/ownyourstyle, you will have all the must-have items this summer long. With summer almost being here, we're all really excited to go on vacations, whether we have destination weddings, trips planned, trips to the Cape, etc. You want to pack light, but you want to pack good. And you can do that at Macy's, shopping for new things that you can wear all day and with anything. If you've been eyeing something from a collection, maybe this might be the sign that you need to just head over to Macy's and do it up. And May is gold month at Macy's. It's 45% off gold jewelry, 45% off earrings, necklaces, bracelets, rings, for men and women too. So go to Macy's.com. Obviously that gold month lasts between May 1st and May 31st, so you still have time left. It's jewelry that you don't have to take off in the shower. It's gold month and Macy's is taking 45% off gold earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and more. Have an anniversary, a birthday, send a link to your significant other from Macy's.com and head over to Macy's.com/ownyourstyle for all your summer must-haves. Today's episode is also brought to you by Caraway. What's so special about Caraway? It's like, girlies, you're always talking about it. Let me tell you what it is. It's non-toxic cookware. The Caraway products are made without any toxic materials like PFAs, PTFE, PFOA, or any other hard-to-pronounce chemicals. It's easy cooking. Its naturally slick surface means minimal oil or butter are required for slide-off-the-pan eggs and easy cleaning. And they're popular. They are well-loved. They have over 65,000 five-star reviews. Caraway Kitchen, there's never a bad time to start, but once you will. I started with one pan, and now I have literally my knives, my cooking utensils, my pots, my pans, my pizza cutter. Literally everything in my kitchen is slowly becoming Caraway. And every time they release a new product, I purchase it because they're just a trusted brand now. Especially living in New York with limited cabinet space, I find that all their products come with storage solutions. So they have this little shelf thing for your pans, this little thing that hangs on the door for your lids. It's so smart. It's so well thought out. And as a reminder, the internet famous cookware set comes with the saute pan, the fry pan, the Dutch oven, and the saucepan. The Dutch oven is perfect for a chili. They have lids for all of them, a canvas lid holder, and a magnetic pan rack for storage. It's the ultimate kitchen setup, and it'll save you $150 versus buying the items individually. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/toasty, you can take an additional 10% off your next purchase. The deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/toasty or use code toasty at checkout. Caraway, it's non-toxic cookware made modern. Code TOASTY. It's just do it. Seriously, I'm not even going to explain it to you.
Yeah, no, it's becoming offensive, that you haven't listened after all these years and all the amazing successes and recipes that we've made using our Caraway.
It's true.
Our first story, Eurovision 2024, had me in a chokehold this year. So as Americans, Eurovision is not really something that we participate in, but recently it's been streaming on Peacock. I remember a few years ago we watched for the first time on Peacock, and it's very exciting. It's pretty much like American Idol for all of Europe. And
it's like a global talent show.
It's a global talent show. Each country has one entrant. They have one song that they perform over and over again, and then they whittle down to the finals. How many countries were in the finals this year? 25, and they all perform their song, and then the whole world votes, and you can vote even if you're not a participating country. It's very exciting.
First of all, I feel like a lot of people know and follow Eurovision now because of that Will Ferrell movie on Netflix, which I thought was incredibly stupid, but the original song from that movie was so fucking good.
Yeah.
And not to make everything about me, but I really started following Eurovision in 2019 because I went to Eurovision. Do you know this?
Yes.
In 2018, and the way that it works is whatever country wins, the next year is the hosting country. So it happens at their, big arena. So in 2018, Israel won. And then in 2019, it took place in Tel Aviv. So I went with Brian, and we had we didn't know what it was, but of course Brian got the best tickets, and it was actually really sick. And ever since then, I've just slowly followed it. And first of all, I think a lot of people don't realize how many famous people come out of Eurovision. Celine Dion won Eurovision. I think probably the biggest deal this year, because they were representing Sweden, was ABBA.
Yeah, I think ABBA is the most successful Eurovision winner, because I think Celine Dion would have been successful with or without Eurovision. It's actually shocking. I just found out she won Eurovision. That seems irrelevant to her story. It's probably not, but ABBA is literally so Eurovision.
And what's so crazy is the song that they chose to sing.
Waterloo?
Yeah, like that's not even their. You would think like their Eurovision song would be their biggest song, like Dancing Queen or something.
Well, I feel like they had success at Eurovision and then they went on to write those other songs.
Yeah, but I just would have thought like their biggest song would have been on like the big global stage that like launched them, you know?
Yeah, I'm shocked that like Waterloo did it for everyone, but I'm glad that it did because it brought us ABBA.
Waterloo. And they sang it at Eurovision.
Yeah.
And then there's also like not even artists, but I think a lot of songs that we all like know came from Eurovision. And most recently it's that song Arcade. Loving you is a losing game. That was the one I was at. And he won, and it was like so obvious the whole time, like everybody knew he was gonna win.
Well, there are a couple like big names who've won Eurovision. I was just looking. There's not as many as like you would think, at least of people that we know, but like Sam Ryder, who's a UK artist, won Eurovision. He performed at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee Soleil.
Yeah, some of us have been following him on TikTok for years with the long blonde hair, right?
Yeah. Because he won Eurovision years ago, and now he's just like...
When did he win?
A couple years ago.
Oh, I feel like he was just... Because I followed him on TikTok before. I feel like he like won like last year, no?
Well, no. When did the UK host it? Sam Ryder, Eurovision.
But it gets like political. That's what happened this year. Because like global affairs.
They try so hard for it to not be political. And I think they do a pretty decent job. Like Eurovision.org does a pretty decent job of like keeping it apolitical because there's always like geopolitical conflicts, you know, territorial disputes and such. But this year was on another level, which was why this year I was very interested in what was going on. And the Israeli entrant, Eden Golan, her song was called Hurricane. I had seen it like coming up here and there, and I hadn't really like paid attention. And then I like saw a clip like, and I watched the whole thing listening to the song, and the song is unbelievable. And then I realized that this weekend was the finals, and she was in Malmo, Sweden, which is where the contest was taking place. And what was happening around Eurovision this year was not to be believed. It was so insane. I wasn't seeing much of it elsewhere, and I could not take my eyes off it.
Yeah, this song I had seen a lot on TikTok. It kind of became this like anthem of, you know, bring the hostages home. So a lot of people have been using it to like amplify that message. So I had seen it.
Well, because originally when she first wrote the song, it was called October Rain, and it was about like October 7th in Israel, and Eurovision said it was like too political and they wouldn't let her enter with it, and so she changed it to Hurricane, and then it just became, you can interpret it a bunch of different ways. It could be about a relationship, it could be it feels to me like emblematic of what's going on with Jews in the world right now.
She's 20 years old, she's so gorgeous, she's so young, and what she experienced in Sweden like is so much for anyone to handle, but like let alone such a young woman. And she handled it with such grace. Like so many of the contestants who are like mentally ill were like bullying her, boycotting. They were bullying her. There was like thousands of people standing outside her hotel room just protesting her being there. She went to a press conference and a Polish dick reporter was like, "Do you feel like you're putting other people at risk by being here?" And she's like, "It's literally not my problem, like other people are anti-Semitic." Like she didn't say that. She was a graceful queen with such grace. Like, oh my God, I can't imagine experiencing that at 20.
No, at 20 there were thousands of people protesting just her being in a contest singing a song. So crazy. Greta Thunberg, major moron, was there protesting. Seven people were arrested at the protest. One of them had a knife. Like, what's your plan?
No, insane. And I will
say she needed an escort of 100 vehicles to go from her hotel to the competition. She couldn't participate in any other of the things that were going on for contestants because everything was so unsafe for her. It was absolutely insane. While she would be singing her song, the entire arena would be booing her, chanting Free Palestine. And I saw a video, I was following like on X, like what was going on. I saw a video where the people who were booing were then complaining of being censored because Eurovision has like anti-booing technology. So you don't hear the booing so much when you're watching at home. You hear like more cheers and they try and cover it up. And like they are pretending to be victims that their bullying didn't get through to a wider stage, that their bullying was censored. It was the craziest thing.
And in the end, I've actually I found the whole thing really interesting and sort of I felt to be like some sort of like State of the Union of like I thought it was really interesting to take the world's temperature. So the way that scoring works, she made it to the top 25, and that's what this weekend was, the top 25, and she ended up coming in 5th place, which for like such a small country is insane because the way that scoring works is 50% of the points are voted on by the public, like everybody you can call, text, whatever, like American Idol energy. And 50% of the votes come from the countries themselves. So every country's delegation gives their points to another country. You can't give it to yourself, obviously. So they go through all 37 participating countries, and every single one of them says, we give our 12 points to Switzerland. Nobody gave their points to Israel. So by the time the delegation, the jury is what it's called, all those points were given out, the number one spot, she was in second to last. The number one spot had like over 200 points, and she had 30. And then they give you points based on how many votes you got worldwide from different countries on the app, on the website, calling in, etc. And, you know, they were going through 30 points here, 40 points here, 50 points here, 80 points here. And they go to Eden, and she got over 300 points, which is like, people were screaming. Like, it was seriously like a mic drop energy. And she went to first place. And then she ended up not winning because she started with 30 points before the popular vote. And so the guy from Switzerland got like 200, but he had more to start with because of the delegation. And I just thought it was really interesting, like these elite morons and their, you know, delegations. Okay, they didn't give Israel any points, but people around the world like watched what was going on and wanted to support this beautiful young girl who was singing about her fellow Israeli, her like being held hostage. Like, it was so moronic. And I think that sometimes when you just like watch the media and watch things going on, it's hard to feel supported, and it feels so overwhelming. Like all we do is talk about the encampment and all these different things, and
they are a small, vocal, radical minority, and the silent majority, which you always like hear about. But most normal people are going about their normal lives. They're not sitting and shitting in the streets and peeing and throwing bricks at people. They're just, you know, enjoying their lives. So you hear about those crazies more often. But this whole Eurovision this year was a exact microcosm of what is going on in the world. Like, this one Jewish girl, like, bearing the brunt of the world's anti-Semitism. Like, you couldn't, I saw a tweet, like, even pro wrestling couldn't write a better story than this, where like this girl looks and sounds and sings like an angel.
Angelic.
An angel. And the grace and poise that she had and the pride that she had, because, you know, any Israeli contestant who got up there was going to be booed. And a lot of people would be scared, and you would sense that, and they would be apologetic and sorry. And this girl was unapologetic.
They would like make themselves small.
She was so proud to be there doing, and knew that what she was doing was big things. Mm-hmm. And for the disgusting evil masses to just be booing her, and she just stood there. It was literally like a diorama of world affairs right now. And then again, to see how the public mostly
voted for her,
supports her, even though it feels like it's the opposite. They're just louder.
Yeah, the contestant from Ireland, which just Google a photo.
No, and it's germane to the story. Like, we couldn't describe her if we wanted to, but she was literally looked like a demonic troll.
She identifies as a witch,
and that actually wouldn't even be insulting to her. Like, that, what I'm saying is not like, she would be like, yeah, I'm a demon troll. That's what I am.
Yeah, she identifies as a witch, and her whole performance was like Crown and Jebbia, like.
Yeah, no, it was
energy.
Yeah, so you have like Eden versus
and she said, her. I started crying when I saw Eden. I started crying when I saw you. You're the scariest looking motherfucker I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah, and the fact that like this one girl she's just singing a song.
Look at you, you're having a breakdown over a 20-year-old girl.
She's just a girl singing a song. Like, this whole competition is not political. Like, that's the point. They even made her change the lyrics to her song.
Right.
She's just singing a song, and you can't handle it.
But you're mentally ill, and you should look inward.
Cry babies, misinformed morons. And that's putting it nicely. That's just assuming that you're dumb as fuck, not that you're evil.
Yeah.
Anyways, captivated my weekend.
I loved it. And thank you, Peacock. Like, how do we get America? I know it's Europe, whatever. But like,
Australia's there. Australia's in it.
I want in. And I want to, by the way, and I was thinking, who in the current like pop music scene, who would we send as our Eurovision representative? I feel like it would seriously be like Tate McRae.
Oh, cute. I support that. I feel like we should have I don't think we can join Eurovision, because also then we would just like make it like
about us.
Yeah. I feel like it's nice that they have it for them, and like we're out of it. It's fine. We need like America Vision, where every 50 states sends a representative.
Okay, I actually am having deja vu. I feel like you've said that idea before on the show, and I thought it was amazing, and I think it's amazing now.
It's like a convergence of American Idol and Catching Kelsey.
Wait, should we do it?
Yeah.
And then the state wins and they host it.
Yes, so cute.
Wait,
Like, why not?
Why don't they do that?
I don't see the downside.
Amerivision?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's so cute.
Can somebody, like, Ryan Seacrest, like, get to work?
Yeah.
Tanya Red listens to the show. Tanya, please pitch it to Ryan. Like, seriously.
It just seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, it does.
So that was Eurovision this year. I think you could still watch it on Peacock. It was really fascinating. Also fascinating to see, like, what the countries are singing and doing, what they're about.
Yeah. And, like, it reminded me a lot of that Will Ferrell movie, because I will say they really did nail, like, the type of music. It's very, like, Euro. Like, I can't describe it. It's like beats.
It's very Euro. The whole thing.
It's Euro.
Yeah, there was some seriously crazy performances.
Oh. No, seriously. And they did come in second to last, and they absolutely deserved it. Like, Finland, like, that was dead ass disgraceful. Like, what the hell was that? With, like, these sparklers, like, seriously, it looked like a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party. It was really crazy.
No, but the whole thing is crazy.
I think, like, some countries really use it as an opportunity to, like, show their
culture.
And I feel like it was maybe Armenia.
I thought the same.
Oh my God, she was so fucking cute.
Yeah.
And, like, it was like this, current contemporary song, but clearly had some, like, Armenian instruments or something.
Yeah.
It was so sweet. Like, seriously, I liked that. And I think that, like, she should win something for that. Because, like, everybody else was just doing, like, pop music. And she was really trying to embrace her heritage. And I love that.
Yeah. There's a lot to see at Eurovision.
Yeah, I would like to get involved in some. And I just want to say,
like, there are a lot of really frightful performances. Like, they were seriously frightening. And, like, what the fuck is that? What's that about?
No, I can't believe, seriously, like, and I don't think that it represents the entirety of Ireland, but, like, that girl
that was peak frightful. Yeah.
It was so crazy. Like, she stood on this pentagon. What's it called? The
pentagram.
Pentagram, and, like, lit herself on fire and was, like, screaming demonically. Like, I don't feel like that really captivates the Irish music scene,
or maybe does it? And I think the way that it works, and I think this is how it is in Israel, is like there's a smaller competition, like, within the country to
pick, like, Miss USA. Are you following?
I've seen it, and I didn't think we would have the bandwidth for it today. So tomorrow I was going to talk about the Miss USA.
Okay, we need to talk about it tomorrow.
But wait, okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow. But just what I was going to say is every country probably has their own talent competition to pick the number one. How fun is that? And then that's just, like, more content, like more shows for the country. So I'm shocked that some of these acts were what won in their country.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're from one of these countries, like, maybe you know more, or maybe just, like, Metallica Frightfulness is really big in some countries.
No, but, like, were the people of Ireland, like, proud of their delegate? Like, seriously. Like,
it's a really good question.
She was so crazy. Like,
yeah. Inside and out.
Were they rooting for her?
Inside and out.
Yeah. So I love Eurovision. Can't wait for next year. Seriously, I'm going to move to Europe just so I can, like, become some country's delegate.
Well, it was fun voting from here. We got to participate. We were certainly a part of something.
We were a part of something, which we love.
Yeah, I just, like, could not believe the treatment of this girl.
I know. And that ugly bitch from Greece, like, being so mean, falling asleep while Eden was talking at the press conference. Like, seriously, you're 40.
And the guy from the Netherlands who, like, had to cover his face with the flag because he couldn't even look at her. Meanwhile, he got kicked out of the competition because he punched a photographer. So again, like, it's just like, which side do you want to be on?
I just want to say, and I don't like to paint with broad strokes, but, like, when I went to Eurovision in Israel, probably, like, the most anti-Semitic thing that's ever happened to me happened in Israel at Eurovision by this guy from the Netherlands. And I Googled him after because someone there told me he's, like, a big radio host. And I forget his name, but I could Google it. He, like, said something about my nose and then threw a penny on the floor. Like, it was really crazy.
Yeah.
So I just feel like the Netherlands might have a problem, like, for real.
I think Europe might have a problem.
Yeah. It was emblematic.
The understatement of the year.
Yeah.
I think Europe might have a problem with anti-Semitism. I don't know. Just a vibe I'm getting. Just a vibe. Just vibes. Are you ready for our next story, which is major news and on any other day would have been the number one story, but Eden is number one in my heart. What'd you say? Bieber? No. But competing for what could have been the number one story.
What?
Dorit and PK.
Okay, you need to calm down. Like, that's so not even the same level as Hailey and Justin.
Really?
Yeah.
At this show, it's equal.
It's not. It's really not. Like,
okay,
we die for Hailey. You die for when people get pregnant. Like,
it's true.
It's huge.
It's huge. Okay, so you want to start with that?
Yeah, I feel like it's disrespectful to their unborn child, seriously, to put Dorit and PK before them.
Fine. Also, good news before bad.
Yes,
always.
True.
Hailey
I'm
Bieber
so happy for
is
them.
pregnant. They announced her pregnancy with some gorgeous artistry, photos and videos.
I loved it. You know, people had been whispering about this for a while, and Brooke Schofield on her podcast like had been hinting that like she knew this big secret about a pregnant young starlet, and everybody like pretty much guessed that it was Hailey Bieber. Turns out she was right. I don't get moved by people's pregnancy announcements. Like, it's like, oh, nice. You know, I love that. You like always, when you find out someone's pregnant, like it means so much to you. And I always say like, sometimes I'll hear someone's pregnant and like, it'll definitely move the needle for me on my own journey.
Yeah.
Consider the needle moved. Like, she's so influential. She's so trendy. And honestly, I'm obsessed.
I'm obsessed. I'm so happy for them. I'm excited for her. I've been using Road Skin so much, just unrelated. So she's just been like omnipresent for me.
Yeah, of course.
I use like the 3-step barrier glaze and milk in my routine every day. And I'm really like nothing but good things to say. And I'm so excited to see like pregnancy and mama content from her on a selfish level, you know, but I'm just really happy for her like as a woman to woman.
Literally same. I thought the, you know, creative direction was like, I'm just so looking forward to everything that's to come content wise. And then of course, like, what do you name a child like that?
I think it's not going to be so out of the box.
So, you know, that girl on TikTok that I love who does baby names.
Mm-hmm. Did she give them some suggestions?
She did. And like, not suggestions, but like predictions.
Like, I feel like, you know, if she hadn't named her company this and she had a boy, like she could have named him Road, like that, Rhodes.
Oh, by the way, for sure. I love that.
So it'll be something like that, like meaningful, not the most common, but not so wacky.
Okay, I can never remember this girl's name who does the names. Colleen, I think her name is. And she thought that they might go biblical because they're very religious, which is nice. But she did have a list that I will read to you right now. Ready? They were like kind of nutty. Peace, Oasis, Cub, Zurich, Toronto, because you know he's from Canada. Sax.
How do you spell
Chapel,
that?
SAX.
Okay.
Chapel, Revy, Cross, Darwin, Smoky.
I don't see it in there.
I don't see it in there either.
So,
yeah, I don't know. Like they give oddly traditional energy, you know, getting married young, things like that. And like, of course, being in the church, like, I don't know. I could see them naming their kid, like, seriously, Joseph.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be so LA.
Yeah, like Samson.
But it's not going to be Sarah.
Wait, by the way, do we know if it's a boy or a girl?
We don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Boy.
I think so too. Based on
I'm really
nothing.
happy for them. Like, that's really nice.
Yeah, me too. Really happy for them.
And like, I don't want to say it. Like, I don't want to bring it up. So I won't, you know?
Yeah, but I think everyone's thinking it.
I'm just wishing her well. Like, for real. I'm wishing her well. That's all I'll say. Like, it's got to be tough. Like, for real. I mean, in like an honest way. Like, I seriously...
And the
I'm sending her a lot of love at this time.
What about the Jelena stance? Like, what has their stance been on this?
I actually think they've
been silenced.
I saw a thread about this on Twitter. Like, I think it ends here. Like, it's over for the Jelena stance.
You would hope.
I think.
You would hope.
Yeah.
Now for our next story.
Yes,
what goes up must come down.
Yes.
Dorit and PK have separated after 9 years of marriage. They posted a joint statement on Instagram saying, "We as a couple have been subject to a lot of speculation about our marriage. We have had our struggles over the last few years and continue to work through them as two people who love each other and share two amazing children together. To safeguard our deep friendship and maintain a harmonious environment for our children, we have made the mutual and difficult decision to take some time apart and reevaluate our relationship while we prioritize our children."
Now, this was low-key shocking. And I know people are going to be like, how is it shocking? Like, it is.
It is, because I feel like there were so many times where they could have split up and they didn't. And now things like seem to be quiet. And it seems like they a couple had been like very like stalwart and steady throughout all of the ups and downs. You know, PK travels a lot, and we see this play out on the show all the time, yet they always worked through it. So like either something happened where it's like, okay, we're no longer trying to work on that anymore, or it's like, I'm tired of working at it.
And I don't know, I feel like their like issues on the show like felt so scripted and fake to me. It was just like storyline energy. I felt like they actually had a really strong marriage.
I feel like they do have a strong marriage, but the issues on the show, it's like nothing's going to change. Like her issue really is that like PK is never home, therefore he's not able to be there for her. Yeah. So now he's just like, what, going to double down? Like, is he going to be in London all the time now? Is that why they can't make it work? I also feel like to announce a separation like this, it's like it could go either way still.
Yeah, announcing a separation is like actually kind of like presumptuous.
Yeah, but I also think maybe it's a way to like ease people into the idea. Because for me, this allows me to be like, oh, well, maybe they'll work it out. But it also feels like such a major thing to do to let us into like the problems in your relationship if you are going to work it out. So,
right.
I don't know. I think it's just a gateway.
And Mauricio and PK like cruising around town yesterday on Instagram, like taking pictures and stuff. Do you think like Kyle at all like was a factor in the sense that like it gave Dorit the confidence?
No.
Okay. I mean, that's really losery. Like your friend's getting divorced, so you get divorced.
I don't think that Dorit has looked at Kyle's situation and been like, I want that.
Yeah. It's been hard.
I think it's been hard and it's been sad. And I think it's just a coincidence that it's happening at the same time. But I don't, sometimes like, I think sometimes you see a friend who's single and you're like, girl power. Yeah, I want what she's having. I don't think that happened here.
Sad.
Yeah, sad. And as a Dorit and PK stan, it's sad for me. But, you know, I don't put too much stock in other people's relationships.
That's good.
As like a grown, mature woman.
Right, yeah.
I've had like just my dreams crushed too many times, and now it's like there's really no couple that could break up that would actually make me like feel some sort of way in my actual life, not on this show. You know what I mean? Like I'm always gonna have a reaction for like the toast, but like who's a couple that could break up that would actually like, you know, shake me to my core?
Taylor and Travis, like for real, like that would actually really
for you.
Yeah.
What would it make you feel?
Grief, like a death. I would sit Shiva, like for real.
I feel like the worst couple breakups have already happened to me.
Yeah, well, at the time you were really shaken up by Kim and Kanye,
Lala and Randall.
Oh my god, yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen and Isla Fisher. Like I've been through the ringer. PK and Dorit's nothing to me. I'm used to this.
It's true. You're hardened. You're jaded.
I've been hardened. I feel like we have a list of celebrity couples that, like, you know, if they broke up, it would be destructive for the realm.
For a lot of people, they say like Blake and Ryan,
John and Emily, Leslie and Judd, Dax and Kristen. Not for me. I'd be fine.
None of those like seriously would like make me think twice. I would be fine.
Yeah. So I'm wishing the best for Dorit and PK and their young children.
Me as well at this time. And seriously, like figure it out.
And get back together?
Yeah. Like, oh, also there is like the possibility, and I'm not saying this, but people on social media are, that like this is a very strategic move. You know, something like this definitely extends your lifetime
on the Housewives
show. Yeah, because there's been a lot of talk about her in like the last couple of years. Every year it's like, is Dorit coming back? It wouldn't be like the biggest loss for the plot if Dorit, she kind of like gives nothing, but every now and then she'll do something. And so is it entirely, because people said that like her fucking robbery was strategic.
Right.
Like that is a lie. But, you know, announcing a separation, but then getting back together, like, it's possible.
I support it. Do what you got to do to stay on the show. Speaking of, I did something crazy last night.
Meth?
Crazier.
Crack?
I watched The Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Wait, it was on?
First 2 episodes are out. It was on last night. Yeah, there's 2 episodes out.
I feel like they didn't do a good job, like, of marketing that towards me. How did you know that?
Because I was... Oh, just because it was in my TiVo and I was looking for something to watch with my back out. I had to be like sedentary and a heating pad, and I caught up on Vanderpump Rules. So I was like, Rahone, here I come. Also, there are some shows, as much as I don't watch a lot of TV, there are some shows that I will always watch. Southern Charm.
Yep.
Rahone.
New Jersey Housewives for me is always, it's like a can't miss show.
Even Beverly Hills, I've not missed an episode. It might take me 6 months, but I've watched everything now. And Vanderpump Rules.
Vanderpump Rules, yeah.
So, yeah, I watched it for this season is going to be crazy.
Crazy
Season.
Before we continue on to the fourth and fifth stories, might I let you know that the rest of the episode is brought to you by Maybelline?
I believe you have a duty to do so.
A duty. For over a century, Maybelline has provided accessible makeup to give everyone the self-confidence to express themselves. As the #1 makeup brand in the world, Maybelline has the platform and the power to make an impact from the inside out, and that's why they've created Brave Together, an initiative designed to help those facing anxiety and depression by funding free professional one-on-one support so that no one has to struggle alone. So mental health challenges like anxiety or depression can be really difficult to manage on your own. If you know someone who struggles with it, like you don't know always how to be there for them. So if you've ever noticed a friend struggling and not knowing what to do or say, that's why Maybelline New York created the Brave Talk training to help people navigate mental health conversations with their friends. It's 5 easy steps to having a brave talk, BRAVE. Be present, right setting, ask questions, validate feelings, encourage action. It's brave to ask for help, so let's be brave together. Maybelline is committed to donating $10 million to NGO partners and providing free access to one-on-one professional support to 3 million people by 2025 so that no one has to struggle alone. They recently have filmed a mini docuseries where the brand was spotlighted for their meaningful efforts to impact global mental health by working with local NGOs worldwide. So if you or someone you know is experiencing anxiety or depression, Maybelline New York is funding free confidential support. Text together to 741-741 or visit Maybelline.com/bravetogether to learn more. Today's episode is also brought to you by Hill House. Hill House, as we all know, invented the viral nap dress. It is the most flattering and comfortable fit with their signature smocking dress. Hill House is the ultimate destination for dress girls with the perfect dresses for the summer season, whether you have weddings, a vacation, or you just need something comfortable in to survive the heat. Okay, Hill House Home, and like Hill House brand, became seriously like cult. I was like, what? I remember when I first heard about it, I was like, why is everyone obsessed with these dresses? And I remember the first time I wore one, like seriously, like I got it. You know, like so comfortable. Love that stretchy sort of like elastic vibe. And so cute, like very on trend with like the whole vibe. I mean, you're making sourdough, like you need a Hill House home dress.
It's so true.
So Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, like all the girlies have worn Hill House. Their commitment to comfort and style applies to all of their categories because they also sell amazing bedding, robes, pajamas, swim and shoes. I feel like they're just a brand now that people love so much. And like you just, whatever they make, you know it's going to be good. You know it's going to look good. You know it's going to feel good. It's going to be made well. I love all of their products. And that aesthetic is like so in right now. And it's just like really, I feel captured. Sort of the homesteading trad wife in all of us. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. Anyone could be a homesteading trad wife in Hill House.
They have baby and kids if you want matching moments with, or you need a baby gift for someone, really cute. They have the cutest little robes, onesies, and you can monogram. And you can get 15% off your order of $100 or more at hillhousehome.com with our code TOAST15. I feel like they don't do a lot of discounts, so that's code TOAST15, TOAST15 for 15% off your order at hillhousehome.com, hillhousehome.com, code TOAST15.
Thank you, La Swirl.
You're welcome, La Churl.
Our next story, Eras Paris. Couple things to note. Taylor Swift took her show to Paris this weekend. Travis was there. It was the 87th stop on the Eras tour. Not stops, 87th show in the Eras tour. So he was there for the 87th show, which she noted. Surprise song was The Alchemy, confirming that it's about him, which most people suspected. And then she also changed one of her outfits to be Kansas City Chiefs colors.
Yeah, well, she has been off tour for 2 months, and so it came back post her new album. So the show had been changed a lot. She added, obviously, there's another era in her catalog, so she added another era, and that also means she had to like cut down on other places. We lost The Archer, we lost Long Live, and a lot of people feel, and I thought this was really interesting. Somebody pointed out like she took out Long Live, which is sort of this like celebration and love letter to her fans, and put in But Daddy I Love Him, which is sort of like this scorching like hate letter to her fans, and it's like her. Like she made it very clear, like not only did she add that, but she also took out Long Live, which was kind of crazy. And I kind of love that message.
I just want to say, like, I don't think that's what her mentality was. I don't think that she has that level of disdain for her fans or wants to and of course it's always like a small but mighty percentage. I don't think that she would let that overshadow the love of her fans. Those are the people who she is singing for, who she's going around the world 87 shows for. I don't think she would make such a strong message like that. I think that maybe But
I just want to say, if she did make that message, I'd support it.
For sure.
Like, toxic fanhood and stan culture, like, has gotten so out of control. Like, seriously, I like it.
Yeah, but I don't think that's her first feeling towards her fans, nor her second, third, fourth, or fifth. Like, I think it's more so gratitude. But when I think of Long Live, and maybe I'm reading it wrong, but differently, I feel like it was like the perfect all-encompassing song about like what she would have been in that relationship. Kind of like it would be the last song in the movie. Like the movie ends like all good. And I just feel like that's not where, like she needs to write a Long Live that encompasses her and Travis because they're even like bigger than that. Do you know what I mean?
But Long Live has nothing to do with her relationship.
It had to do with Joe. Tell your kids.
Joe? Jackie, she wrote the song when she was 17. What are you talking about?
Long Live is from Speak Now.
Speak Now. She wasn't with, are you saying Joe Jonas?
Joe Jonas, yeah. When
No,
they point to my picture, please tell them my name.
No. It has nothing to do with the relationship. I think she's talking to her fans. Like, let's say this moment that I'm having like doesn't exist anymore, and you have children someday, and they see a picture. Like, just tell them my name. Like, tell them how the crowds went wild. Like, it has nothing to do with a romantic relationship.
I thought this was about Joe Jonas, like that they were the kings and the queens.
No, like the fans, like they were on top of the world. Like, look what we had. And by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, Swifties, but I'm like 99% sure I'm right.
I feel like now it's become that, but I feel like, and I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just telling you, this is how I've always thought of Long Live. Like it was about her and Joe being the kings and the queens on. Like I think they performed together like back in the day, and she felt like we're on top of the world. And even if it doesn't work out, like when your kids point at my picture, tell them my name.
Okay, I never have interpreted it as that ever, but maybe.
I thought it was a Joe Jonas song about like they were the kings and queens of the teeny boppers, and things will never be that great. And it's morphed into being like a song about like that the fans can relate to. But I got like a Joe Jonas vibe. Please sound off in the comments. This would kind of like shake the bedrock for me.
It would. Back to Paris eras. So she added a TTPD segment. She sang all the hits. I think that everybody would have wanted her to. New outfits. All the outfits have been sort of updated. Like they're the same vibe, but just like new silhouette, except for Reputation, which obviously people are reading into because that's the one album she hasn't re-recorded yet. And so it's like same old. But I don't know, Paris eras, like seriously FOMO. It's like, and people are like, I'm so mad. Like I paid for a show and I didn't see TTPD. Like I think this is just going to be like how Taylor Swift like evolves, like moves on from now. Like
also Paris paid for a show and they didn't see Archer or Long Live. Like it's a give and take. It's not like they're getting more show. Calm down. Also, this is how she's going to get people to go to more shows. Like Nikki Glazer's going to 6 more. She already went to 12 and it's going to be a different show.
Yeah, no, and by the way, when we go at the end of the year, like it'll be totally different, and that's so fabulous. Like she keeps evolving, and it must be more creatively stimulating for her to like keep doing different things every night because it can get a little. You already said she sang The Alchemy.
Yeah, so that is Travis confirmed.
She also sang Begin Again, which the music video like is shot in Paris, and it's
No, that was that was like serious Easter egg microscope, like on another level.
Yeah.
Also, alchemy is a word that I will never know what it means. Do you feel the same?
And please don't look it up. Like I'm completely disinterested in actually knowing what it means.
And there's also a book called The Alchemist, and I feel like I can't read it because I don't understand what it means.
And like as long as like alchemy and alchemists, like you're not in a lab with bleakers. Like,
no, you are. It's the medieval forerunner of chemistry based on the supposed transformation of matter. It was concerned particularly with attempts to convert base metals into gold or to find a universal elixir. It's a seemingly magical process of transformation, creation, or combination.
Okay, elixir is a word that always makes me laugh now because Ben, like in an attempt like a couple of weeks ago to make his own tea, like he literally boiled water with like all these different fruits and rinds and peppercorn, like, and he tried to make his own like herbal tea, but he ended up making some sort of concoction that like makes you shit.
An elixir?
And he calls it his elixir. And like if I'm ever like constipated, he's like, do you want me to make you my elixir? And honestly, I had it the other day and like it actually worked. I'll ask him for the recipe if anybody's interested.
Thanks. Yeah. I feel like anytime you make something wrong, it's going to make you shit. Like,
no, but like, it's just water at the end of the day. Like, he steamed all these things in it and then just like drank the broth. Jeez. It was disgusting.
Frightening.
Yeah.
All is to say, The Alchemy.
All is to say, bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit. Are you ready for our fifth and final story?
I actually like genuinely am.
Yeah, otherwise the curds are going to run out. So, and it will take like 3 hours to upload. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are reuniting for a new reality series 17 years after The Simple Life ended. Paris and Nicole are returning to their roots, sort of. The duo who became household names for The Simple Life in the early 2000s are joining forces once again. They'll be reuniting for an all-new reality TV series more than 16 years after the conclusion of their original show. One thing to say.
We don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is.
It's Peacock, right?
It's Peacock, yes.
I loved The Simple Life. Like when it was on, I loved it. I've rewatched it many times. Like I'm the perfect, I'm the target demo for this. And the thing about The Simple Life was that it was truly lightning in a bottle. Like never have two people given so little fucks. Like in this new day and age, like you couldn't get away with half the shit that they did, like, or said. And honestly, like, I don't know, like it's not doing it for me. Like the OG is perfect. Like it's enough for me.
Agreed, but I'm open to what this could be. Like I think there's something here, and I don't know if it's going to be like a Simple Life reboot. I don't think it would be exactly the same anyway. Like I think everyone would agree with what you're saying. Like it was perfection, don't mess with it. But I do think that there's like great content to be had from Paris and Nicole together again. So I'm open.
But like, are they even friends?
Yeah, she was at her wedding.
I know they're on fine terms.
They're not. I don't think they're like best friends like how they were back then. But I think they're like very, very good. She was at Paris's wedding. Paris was at Sophia's wedding. Mm-hmm. I think they're very good.
Okay, good. Like that's what I want. I don't know. I'll have to see. I need to be pitched.
But I'm open. I remain open.
Me too. This isn't just like an automatic yes for me though.
Okay, well, since that was really short, I do have a little more content news that I'm going to put a subset B, if I may. Mm-hmm. Downton Abbey third movie officially announced.
Is Maggie Smith in it?
Unclear, but Paul Giamatti is.
Okay. I don't love when like a normie actor.
No, but he was in the show. He's Cora's brother.
Paul Giamatti was in Downton Abbey?
Yeah, he's the American uncle.
Oh, right. She's American. Okay. Because normally, like with Dominic West, too, and even though I think he did a good job, I don't love seeing actors whose names I already know in Downton Abbey. It's its own universe. It's like Game of Thrones. Like, that'd be seriously like if Brad Pitt was in Game of Thrones. Like, no.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but he's from the show and he'll be back. I wonder.
Are they going to America?
I feel like they might have a Newport summer, a Newport Swirly summer.
Oh, wait. Obsessed. Well, then the Dowager wouldn't be in it. She couldn't make the travel.
I think she might not be in it anyway. And also, it doesn't even make sense for her to be in it because she said her goodbyes in the last movie. And I think that's good.
Yeah.
I would love a Newport Swirly summer for Downton Abbey 3. Maybe Julian Fellows can finally get his like Gilded Age fix without being part of that like stupid show.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad we all sort of have gotten to a place where we can talk about openly that the Gilded Age is bad. I think when it first came out, give it time. It did get like a little bit better. Second season, like genuinely unwatchable. And
I haven't watched it yet.
I couldn't. Everyone was afraid to say it, and they like didn't want to doubt Julian Fellows and like disrespect his. And now I think we're all mature enough and like open enough with one another to say like the show is actually abysmal. You know,
I'm gonna have to venture into season 2 to really call it. But I call it like I see it.
So I called it after like 2 episodes of season 2, and I couldn't even tell you one thing that happened. It was so dreadful, and I don't want to put all of the blame on Cynthia Nixon, but I definitely put like 85% of the blame on her. She never should have been cast in that show.
No, but also. A lot of the blame, everyone, the acting is so bad, but also like the set. I don't know if he didn't have enough money. I don't know if he hired the wrong set director, but like he did not convincingly make a New York City street in the 1900s. He did not do it.
No, honestly, you know who I think is the worst actress?
The mother of the rich new family.
She's really bad, but no. Across the street, Cynthia Nixon's sister. Aggie, I think her name is.
I mean, she's the linchpin of the show.
She's horrible.
The show, like, she's the crux of the show. She's the main character. She probably has the biggest role.
Are you talking about the old blonde lady?
Cynthia Nixon, the aunties?
The aunties, yeah.
Yeah, she's like the biggest character.
No, and the niece, Marianne, she sucks.
Oh my God, she's really, really bad. and she's really bad and not only is her acting bad, but like her character is bad too.
Dread is her character.
Oh my,
I'm
everyone.
so glad we can all speak openly about it now. Like I feel seriously like a weight has been lifted. Like when I was watching it last season, I was like pretending and lying to myself and lying to others around me. I'm like, I love it. It's bad.
Yeah, I want to watch the season. The thing is, where do we lay blame? I don't know, because it should be so good. Julian Fellowes' Gilded Age, like done.
No,
I would, if I were a studio head, I would sign blank checks.
I don't even blame Julian Fellowes. It's like a collective effort to make the show bad. Like everyone, whether it's cast and crew.
You don't think Julian Fellowes kind of resting on his laurels, being like,
no,
I can do no wrong?
No, because he's done great things since, like the Downton movies.
Well, because like the established goodness was there. I feel like maybe he's just gotten a little like, oh, it's Julian Fellowes? Great. It's good.
Yeah.
Send it off.
Maybe that's it. Julian Fellowes just like resting on his laurels.
It's giving Julian Fellowes resting on his laurels.
1000%.
Someone had to say it.
So that's our show. Nice long. I feel like we still have so much more to catch up on.
Yeah.
I feel like we missed stuff, but we have all week to do that, which is so fabulous.
We do. I've got to go feed my sourdough starter. I've got to take more Advil.
Myself.
I've got to take more Advil for my back.
We're wishing you a speedy recovery.
Thank you. I'm wishing myself a speedy recovery because like I actually physically can't deal with not.
No, it's annoying as fuck.
No, like this doesn't work for me. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the Toast and Monday Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast, and our podcast can be found on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, Castbox, all the places my podcast, 5-star review, really beautiful, stunning, and wickedly talented we are. Love ya. Bye.
Love ya. Bye.